my dear chickadees! Welcome back to You and Him Chapter 1. This is part 2, so if you haven't seen the other parts, you need to go check them out so you know what's going on. I had to cut this chapter in hopefully half because it was getting a little long. But that means we get to enjoy it a bit longer. Okay, we're going to jump back in. We left off with us on the run from Adam, who is hunting us down, and we ran and were seeking solace in our crazy aunt's house, but we realized we left our wallet at the bar. I wonder if we'll be able to get our wallet back. You know, we might kind of need it. Oh, okay, let's see, go back. Okay, there we go. We didn't miss anything. He went to the bar we were at. Of course he did. Look at him with a baseball hat. He's trying to blend in because, you know, he is a famous pop star. So, Adam enters Briar's Bar and Grill with slumped shoulders and the aurora of a man who just lost everything. He pulls his baseball cap down to shield his eyes as he takes a seat at the bar before waving the bartender over. Oh, hello, Thomas. Thomas looks pretty cool. Look at those dyed hair and pierced ears and tattoos. Oh, hello, Thomas. What can I get you? Adam makes sure his voice cracks a little around the edges as he answers. Bourbon on the rocks, please. He lets out a pathetic sniff while the bartender pulls out a glass. Why are you... Is this just a show? But... Why, buddy? He's crying even. He works with practice efficiency, but Adam can sense the man's growing curiosity and concern over his behavior by certain clues in his body language. Like the way the bartender chews at his lip as if he's debating on asking if Adam's alright. Or the way he places Adam's drink of choice in front of him, soft and polite, as if he's afraid of startling a deer. Adam's being an excellent actor, isn't he? Okay, I had to get me a little drink of water. Stay hydrated, everybody. He's a natural empath, and one that can easily be exploited for information. See, I told you. Perfect. Is there anything else I can get you? Adam solemnly shakes his head. No, I'm fine. Thank you, though. He keeps his voice soft and quiet as he rubs away the condensation on the lip of the glass. He forces himself to keep a straight face as the man shifts from foot to foot. It's almost too easy. Then, as predicted... Hey, are you okay, man? Adam swallows thickly and he could feel the man growing more and more worried. He's got his attention. This is perfect. Just... got a lot going on. I'm sorry. He sighs and pushes away the drink. I don't even feel like drinking this. I'm just a mess right now. I have forgotten the voice I gave Adam, so if this is a little off from the other part, I do apologize. The man hesitates but puts Adam's bourbon off the side and braces his crossed arms against the countertop as he leans forward. Adam scrubs a hand down his face to hide his smirk. He really should try out acting one of these days. He's too good at it. After he finds you and slits your pretty little throat, he'll bring up the idea to Saffron. Oh, God. Knowing Saffron and his desires for the band to reach grander heights, he's almost certain he'll agree. But first things first, he needs to weasel some information out of this guy. You can talk about it if you want. I'll listen. Adam shakes his head, face still covered. So hard not to laugh. Why are these people so easy? He clears his throat of laughter, though the bartender will think otherwise. I don't want to bother you. I've already done enough today. No, that's okay. That's what bartenders are here for. Yeah? He's so sweet and sincere, Adam could puke. But instead, Adam just lowers his hand and lets out a deep, shuddering breath. It's silly, but I got into a fight with my significant other. It started off as a light argument. They were frustrated over something I said and responded negatively because I didn't think that was bad. Adam sniffs again. Then it spiraled from there and they ran out of the house. I spent hours looking for them, and I don't know where they ran off to, and they won't answer their phone. I'm so scared they got hurt. The bartender grows solemn. Well, maybe I can keep an eye out and tell them you were looking for them. What do they look like? Adam whips out his phone and shows him a picture of you. Okay, cat blocking screen. Hang on a second. I gotta move it. Okay. It's one he grabbed off your social media and saved for this exact purpose. Photoshopping the two of you together in order to feed into his story. The bartender takes Adam's phone and scratches the back of his head. Oh, yeah, actually, they were here a couple hours ago. Adam perks up. Really? And they're okay? They're not hurt? The man gives Adam his phone back. No, they seemed a bit jittery and left their wallet behind. He pats the back of his pocket for emphasis. I picked it up and tried calling after them, but it seems like they were in a hurry. I'm keeping it on hand in case they come back looking for it. Adam looks down at your photo with faked fondness. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Maybe they're still near here. Sorry I couldn't help more. Adam allows a few fake tears to slip from his eyes as he rubs them away with his thumb and forefinger. As if on cue, the bartender rounds the counter and soothes Adam with a comforting pat to his back. A warm, comforting presence to some, but to Adam, it's annoying. Pathetic. Still, he's given him the perfect opportunity, and what kind of man would Adam be if he didn't take it? He stands up and hugs the bartender, who stiffens in surprise at this sudden gesture. Adam gives the man a hard squeeze around the shoulders, playing up his gracefulness in order to distract him from where his other hand travels. He's gonna take that wallet. His fingertips brush the top of your wallet, and without hesitation, he slips it out and into his own back pocket. This happens within a matter of seconds. The bartender doesn't even notice, nor does anyone else. He's got what he wanted, plus more. Now, it's time for him to leave before he overstays his welcome. He withdraws a decent-sized tip and places it on the counter. Thank you again. Really? Before the bartender can even respond, his eyes go wide at the amount of money Adam's already out the door and heading back to his car. He inspects your wallet a few minutes later, away from prying eyes at a rest stop. Adam smirks to himself as he draws it out with a relish. Who would have known you would have been this careless? For someone who's invaded you so long, you keep making mistake after mistake. It's really sad. He hums to himself, tapping the corner of your wallet to his lips while grinning. Damn. He wishes he could see the expression on your face when you return to the bar to find out someone was looking for you. You're smart enough to draw your own conclusions from his trail of breadcrumbs. He licks his lips, delighted at the pleasurable thought of you trembling in fear like a lost little lamb cornered by the big nasty wolf when the bartender tells you. Will you die on the spot right then and there? Or will you wait for him to show his face first before succumbing to the realization that he's inescapable? He hopes it's the latter. Adam can't wait for the chance to finally break you. But he needs to find you in order to do so. He looks back down at your wallet and traces the fox black leather with his thumb, noting the worn inside and the distinct smell of you. It's almost too much, the way you flood his senses with your cloyingly sweet scent. So he breathes through his mouth and focuses on sorting instead. Adam gets a sense of who you are as he rifles through your rewards cards, studies your driver's license, and count each coin down to the last penny. We have coins in our wallet? Well, apparently it's like a little wallet that goes in like your back pocket, 'cause that's where it was. But I hope it's not a lot of coins, because that makes it kind of hard to close the wallet. He gleans superficial facts about you, easy things to spot, even without your wallet, and puts them aside for a rainy day. Next are your crumpled up receipts. He scours through them. They range from small purchases to much larger grocery runs. None of them are relevant. He glosses through each of them with learned efficiency until he lands on the last one. It belongs to a gas station that's quite out of the way from your residential area. The date is from yesterday, early in the morning, and quite a few hours before you pulled over to help him, thinking he was a hitchhiker. He doesn't know why you drove down that deserted highway. He never needed to ask people why they did things that they did before he killed them, because they never escaped. Not until you. But these are the most important questions, because they're possibly a clue to where you're hiding. From what reason did you go into the outskirts of Park Bend? And why do so before making what he assumed was a long trip? He searches the other receipts for possible answers. But there is none. Adam leans back in his seat, pondering over loose theories, none of which hold any merit. Then it hits him. You were visiting someone. He's a pretty smart little bean, isn't he? He's pretty smart. He's piecing it all together. Maybe a friend or a relative or a lover. It doesn't matter why you visited them, but the possibility that you did, as well as the possibility that you were hiding out of their place, could lead him back to you. It would explain the lack of receipts. And there's no other reason for you to visit. Any groceries would sit in the blistering hot car for hours, and he doubts you visited a restaurant. No, you visited someone. But who? That's a question he can't solve on his own. Not without help. He flips open his phone and calls Saffron. I need you to do something for me. Is he gonna like deep dive for information about us? Probably. You sit outside in your idling car while beating yourself up for a solid 10 minutes. Mistakes were made, one piled on top of another and crushing you under their weight. The biggest being the fact that you agreed to drop off those stupid guns. You should have played sick or let your phone drift to voicemail, because when your family calls, it's never for anything good. You want to bang your head against the dashboard until you pass out. Of course, you left your wallet because, of course, everything that can go wrong will. You're so fucking tired of this. Of the games, of hiding, of panicking, of not knowing what to do. Adam should be the one who's afraid, not you. Not when he is the one who has everything left to lose while you have nothing. But he's after your life. And while it's shitty at times, you're kind of attached to it. Yeah, I'd say we're attached to our life, you know? Just a little. Okay. Going out once for a grocery run wouldn't be so bad if you could just order future stuff online. But losing your license and debit card means you'll have to wait. Oh yeah, our license. We got pulled over, it'd be game over for us. The last time you tried replacing your debit card, it got lost in the mail and you're forced to wait 2 extra weeks. The delivery service sucks here. So more than likely, it's gonna happen a second time around. Which leaves you with 2 options. Either go back to the bar, risk running into Mr. Relentless, but minimize the needs to go out as frequently. Or hope the delivery guy doesn't fail you and risk going out to get groceries for the next few weeks. Neither option is great. But going to the bar makes for one big risk while the other makes for multiple. The choice is obvious. You have to return to the bar. You look at the cash your aunt handed you, wishing she used debit cards instead. But the woman refuses to expose herself to the online feds and works under the table. Everything comes either in crisp dollar bills or nothing at all. She always errs on the side of caution, but in all honesty, maybe you should take a few notes from her book, especially with Adam on your tail. But you at least have something you didn't last time. The sharp kitchen knife glints in the passenger seat. Sure, it's grimy, but at least you can defend yourself rather than being defenseless. You mentally prepare yourself on the drive over. There's no telling if you'll have to use it. Oh my gosh, we're in Aunt Ruth's point of view? Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Saffron. Okay. Here's my prediction. Saffron looked up our information, found out we had an aunt, tracked down the address, gave it to Adam, or Saffron could have done it himself. And one of them's over there and probably getting information, and aka our aunt's gonna die before we get back. Right? That's my thoughts here. Kitty, stop blocking the camera. Okay. I thought I pressed record, and apparently I didn't. So I've been talking to myself for a good 20 minutes. Okay, yeah. So, I backed up as far as I could back up. This is only like a line or two after the last thing you guys saw. Ruth is pretty much just chilling in her house, and she opens a drawer and pulls out this picture of her and her friends, and that's pretty much all you missed. Can't believe I did that. Okay. So yeah, I know what's gonna happen for the next little bit, but bear with me. Let's watch it. Oh god. I will get better at this eventually. Okay, here we go. She doesn't want anyone to lay eyes on her one treasure. The rest of the photographs she'd gotten had gotten lost after she moved state to state. Now it's all she has left of. Okay, it's not gonna go back far enough, but this is her, and this is her friends. They were really close-knit and everything, and I think her mom took the picture of them together at this moment, and that's what we missed her saying. There's a crash, and Ruth screams before slapping her hands over her mouth. What was that? Her gaze skates over to the source of the crash, and she watches as a large hand grips the ledge of the window. Oh no. No. Did they find her here? The same person that got Alice and Grady and Chelsea? Yet, who else could it be? There's no one else who would do this. No one else she's feared for all this time. Wait. I gotta do something. Look at the necklace. Does it look familiar? It's just like Adam's earring, except it's on a necklace. Okay. Yet, who could it be? There's no one else who would do this. No one else she's feared for all this time. But how did they find her? She's always been careful, never leaving too many traces of herself online and moving when she needed to. How are they here? Then it clicks. You must have brought them here. You stupid little... There's a crunch of boots and a soft huff of breath as someone crawls in with their head full of dark blue hair. Ruth watches with horror as the figure drops to the floor, with practiced ease and the rise from the ground like Lucifer himself rising from hell. It's Adam! He's wearing a wig with dark blue hair. I didn't notice it when he was in the bar, but dark blue hair. The intruder wipes the sweat off his forehead, giving a soft little huff of breath from the effort of breaking in. So nonchalant, like he's used to getting away with this sort of thing without facing any repercussions. That's exactly right. He's a spoilt serial killer. He just has to dial up Saffron and be like, yeah, yo, I need body removal. This roots her to the ground, her body frozen in place. Move. Move! Her breathing comes out in unsteady pants. She can't bring herself to even wiggle a pinky finger. She's so scared. Why is she so weak? She's always been so weak. Back then with her, and now with this man who poses a threat to her life. And oh God help her. The man takes his time facing Ruth as he peels off the blue wig and cap, tossing them both to the ground with relish. He groans as he raises his head, massaging his scalp underneath the tangled mess of purple hair. His cross earring glints in the light, capturing Ruth's full attention. It looks exactly like that necklace in the picture. So, he must have some connection to that woman. Wait a moment. Why does he have that? She knows that earring, but she hasn't seen it since the unfortunate news about Clarissa came out. And back then it wasn't an earring. In fact, it was a pendant that belonged on a necklace, a gift she gave to Clarissa for her birthday so many odd years ago. But where did he get it? And that's much better. The man groans and Ruth stiffens at the medallic nature of his voice. It's almost eerie how similar he sounds. Just a more masculine version of her. Those eyes. Ruth's hands fly to her mouth as she tries covering her shock. You're not who I'm looking for. His boots crunch over the broken glass as he covers the distance between them. She shrinks back. Please don't hurt me. The intruder slowly lifted his arm so he can see the hilt of a blade tucked at his side. He smirks at the way she shrinks back, revealing the effect he had on her. He's sick. Twisted. Ruth backs up against her nightstand. Her fingertips drift outwards toward the handle of the drawer, and she works on it, inching it outwards. What do you want from me? Don't you see I have nothing to give? I'd beg to differ, but I'm not the begging sort. His eyes wander over to where she's inching the drawer open. What do you have in there? I don't... She yanks the drawer open and her fingertips brush metal before Adam yanks her hand away by the wrist. Ugh, I cannot talk today, guys. Get me a little drink of water. Maybe that'll help. Ruth shrieks as he towers over her. Ha-ah-ah! You're not supposed to play with guns. They're dangerous, you know, he says, flicking his free hand towards the revolver. And you wouldn't accidentally want to hurt me, would you? Ruth's bottom lip trembles. She can't bring herself to answer, and the intruder rolls his eyes before they land on the pitcher hidden in the nightstand. Oh? What's this? He tries to grab her treasure, and Ruth's brain regains connectivity, grabbing his arm before she can. He can. Don't touch that! There's venom in her voice, surprising both her and her intruder. The man actually cracks an annoyed smile. Ha-ha! I see the family resemblance now. Turns out you got a bit of piss and vinegar in you as well. And honestly, it's really fucking annoying. He rips Ruth's hand off his arm, sending her tumbling into her bed. Before she can make another attempt to stop him, the man picks up the group photo with a defiant smirk. Ruth knows when he spots her because his entire body goes rigid, eyes snapping wide open like blinds on a window. He mouths a single word. Just like that, Ruth's suspicions are confirmed. She never knew what happened to him. She didn't even recognize him at first because he's grown so much and changed everything about himself. But now, I'm sure you don't remember me, Adam, but Adam's face goes stone cold, and the heat in the room drops 20 degrees, chilling Ruth to the bone. He grips the frame so hard the wood cracks from the pressure. Well, isn't this interesting? He looks down at her, and the hatred in his eyes is absolute. If he didn't want to kill her before, She almost certainly certain he does now. There's no reason he wouldn't at this point. Said he said a single word. I'm guessing that's his mom. I don't think one of them had purple hair, right? He could be dyeing his hair too, to be honest. They both know what she's done. The grief she caused. That all of them caused. And now her karma has returned tenfold. She is going to die. And she knows it. Ruth scrambles backwards on the bed before she hits the wall as he withdraws his knife. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Adam cocks his head, his grip on his hilt white-knuckled. No, you aren't. Ruth screams as the still descends on her, causing a few lazy crows resting on the back lawn to go shooting up towards the graying sky. Okay. Like, I'm not sad at all about Aunt Ruth dying. She was mean. Okay, I went through that kind of fast. But, we caught up to where I was before. I realized I wasn't recording. Okay. So, he found our house. Probably Saffron located it for us. And he found our aunt's house. And he's now murdered our aunt. He's probably... I wonder if he's going to be sitting there waiting on us to get back, because it'd also be bad if he was there when somebody discovered there's a dead person there. So, monsoon season sure picks one hell of a time to pop off. Torrential rain starts pouring down and soaking through your t-shirt, pants, and worst offender of all, your socks, as you make your way into the bar. Your stomach growls at the fresh, warm scent of food, and you crave both something to eat and a fresh change of clothes. But that'll have to wait until you get back to your aunt's trailer. Not to mention cleaning the massive stack of dishes if you want any utensils. Pretty sure something in that sink winked at you. Maybe you can sneak a purchase for some cheap rubber gloves from dollar store on your way back. A woman bustles past you, and you stomps on your foot as you try to make your way towards the waitress. Fuck that smarts. Did she just stab your big toe with her 4-inch pump on purpose? By the way, she's smirking while texting on her phone. Sure says as much. What the heck was that for? Don't cut in line. You scowl, resisting the urge to pull an Adam by chucking her phone into the fish tank sitting nearby. We're already like, pull an Adam. But the fish didn't do anything wrong. You instead turn away and head towards the front, tossing a brief explanation over your shoulder. Not that you owe her one. I'm just here to get my wallet. I'm not waiting for a table. She grabs your arm, pulling you back, snarling. Hey, I said wait your turn. The action reminds you of him, and something inside of you snaps under the weight of it. Her next words die on her lips as you turn to face the woman in red, filled with so much audacity. Her hand drops limply at her side. When you move towards her, she holds her hands up and you realize it's not your face she's afraid of. She's staring at your side where the kitchen knife rests. Oh no! We have it on us and she just realized we had a knife. We're gonna get arrested, aren't we? Ah, that makes a lot more sense. Well, it works well enough for you as long as she doesn't start complaining to the staff. You don't really need the added trouble of getting pulled into a police station. You got enough to worry about. I'm not here to cause trouble. I just forgot something so you can leave me well enough alone. The woman nods, swallowing hard while she takes a step back. A few people behind her grow curious and peer over her shoulder. Great. Gotta love the scene she's causing, giving you yet another reason to hurry and get the hell out of here. When you make it past the crowd, you manage to catch one of the waitresses' attention while she bustles from table to table by tapping on her shoulder. Excuse me, but has anyone here found a wallet? The waitress jabbed your thumb towards the bar, chewing loudly in her gum. Thomas mentioned something about finding one earlier. Oh, thanks. She waves you off as she continues onto her next table while you head off towards a man dipped from head to toe in tattoo ink. As you approach, you overhear him making jokes with the middle-aged patron who pats at his pot belly. Jesse says dad bods are all the rage these days. The tattooed man, Thomas, chuckles as he pours the patron a drink and slides it over with well-practiced aim. You're not wrong, you know. I'm sure you'll find someone who appreciates you for you. Just do yourself a solid and delete Winder. That coming from personal experience? Heard about it from friends, actually. I'm not really into the dating or hookup scene, so all my horror movies come from them. Or horror stories come from them. The patron nods in understanding. Here's to that. Winder is dog shit. Thomas chuckles again, but stops once you step up to the bar. He gives you a once-over. His brow wrinkles, lips pursing. Have I seen you before? Ah, maybe from earlier? I accidentally left my wallet behind and heard you found one. Thomas snaps his finger, finally placing you. Right! I tried chasing after you, but you left in such a rush I didn't manage to return it in time. The patron takes one large swing of his drink before he stands up from the bar and nods towards Adam. He pushes a crisp $20 bill his way. I guess that's my cue. Thomas holds a finger up. You've had a few. Is Jesse on their way to pick you up? The patron rolls his eyes and waves Thomas off. Yeah, they're already parked outside. Thomas nods his approval, and the patron gives both you and Leroy a two-finger salute before making his exit. Leroy? Excuse me, this is Thomas. This ain't Leroy. It's Leroy. Thomas pats the now empty space in front of him. Feel free to sit. Can I get you anything? No, that's okay. I just came to get my wallet. Don't want to chat with old Roy, eh? I'm a bit offended. Is your name Leroy Thomas? Okay, that would make sense if his name's Leroy Thomas. His smile says he's not the least bit offended. You like him almost instantly. But you're also still in a hurry to get in and out, just in case Adam somehow figures out you're here. I'm in a bit of rush. Maybe next time? Pinky promise? He says it and actually sticks out his pinky. You laugh, and God, it's been so long since you laughed, as you hook your pinky with him. It's a deal. Thomas grins all boyish sincerity before drawing away and wiping down the other patron's glass. Glad to hear it. So, out of curiosity, did you and your boo make up? Your what now? My boo? You know, your man, your partner, your lover. Your mood shifts from soft, vibrant yellow, glowing and happy, to an uncertain purple tinged with fear. What he says makes no sense. I don't. He came in here earlier looking for you. Said you two got in a fight and you ran off. He was really worried, you know. Afraid you got hurt or something. There's no doubt in my mind that man loves you. You scrunch your eyes closed as if it'd stop his words. There's only one man searching for you, and he wants you dead. Adam. But how did he come in here without people noticing? He couldn't have unless... Oh, that little shit. He disguised himself, didn't he? Talk about being a chameleon, changing shape and personalities to suit his environment. You probably already know that, though. You give a non-committal smile. Something like that. Thomas accepts his answer and reaches into his back pocket. He frowns. Strange. We got busier earlier, so I kept your wallet on hand. Did I drop it by accident? He lost it? No, wait. If Adam was here, he probably managed to get his grubby little hands on your property somehow. Which is bad. Because knowing him, he's going to figure out a way to locate where you're staying. You don't know how, but your sixth sense is tingling. I'm so sorry. I swear The phone behind him rings and he holds up a finger, mouthing another apology before he answers. Hello, Thomas from Briar's Bar and Grill speaking. How may I help you? There's a pause and Thomas rubs the back of his neck as he turns towards you. He mouths. Your boyfriend's on the phone. He knows you're here. Is he calling from outside? Waiting for you to come out, wherever you are? He's the type to turn this entire charade of his into a game. Thomas covers the receiver. You should really talk to him. Yeah, because talking will solve the bad blood that's going on between you and Adam. He wants to impale you on the tail end of his knife. But Thomas doesn't know that. Fine, let me talk to him. You motion for the phone and Thomas hands it over with a smile. He's about to tell us something bad. Oh, this poor, sweet, naive man. Adam tricked him too, just like everyone else. Your words are cutting as you answer, wanting to get the first word in edgewise before you hear his stupid voice. Hello, honey. You hear sniffling and the soft, quiet sobs of a woman. Oh, he didn't kill her. He didn't kill her. He just stabbed her. Yeah. Oops. Hit a button. Okay. He didn't kill her. It's a hostage situation. It's not what you were expecting. Hello? You can hear Adam speaking in the background to someone. When the crying woman speaks, horror floods you like a broken dam. That's... Help me. You grip the receiver so tight you almost break it. Thomas mouths. Is everything okay? You wave him off, trying to appear more calm than you feel. How did he get to Ruth? How did he find her? How did he... Adam comes onto the line, unnervingly chipper. Hear that? She's begging for your help. Won't you come and help her? Let her go. There's more shuffling and your poor aunt's sobs get louder and you can hear her begging for Adam to put his knife away. You grind your teeth so hard you almost break one. How dare he? How dare he go for your family? When you get your hands on him, you go straight for the throat. You know, I didn't think looking for you would lead me to this shit stain, but it turns out maybe fate in fact exists. Who would have thought? I guess I have to reassess my beliefs. This is between me and you fucking asshole. Leave other people out of this. Ooh, touchy, touchy. You're getting all worked up, and here I am being nice enough to put your dear aunt on the phone. I'd say I'm being quite generous, given the circumstances. What circumstances? Are you talking about stalking me to the ends of the earth? Because if I didn't know any better, I'd say you're a bit obsessed with me. Careful, Adam, or I'll start thinking you got an unrequited crush. Oh, that smile dropped. The words came out scathing, sharp as the kitchen knife hidden in your pants, and Adam goes silent on the other end. There's a sharp cry, and Adam responds with venom. Ever suggest something like that again, and I'll start chopping off parts of her body. You bite your lip to keep from saying anything else. It's one thing if it's between you and him, but another when your aunt's involved. She may not be your favorite person, but you still don't want to see her hurt. What do you want from me, Adam? You know what I want. You hate him. God, you hate him. You wish a stray bolt of thunder would blast him out of this existence, and Izakai is sorry but the world of pain and suffering. We want to Izakai him. Oh gosh. We need Truck-kun. Oh gosh. Fine, you leave Ruth out of this. Aw, acting so brave. It's kind of cute when you try puffing yourself up to be bigger than when in reality you're just a scared little kitten. Are you going to scratch me with those little claws of yours? He's baiting you. Anything you say will give him room to hurt Ruth. And knowing him, he'll blame it on your behavior rather than his own sadistic tendencies. You keep your mouth shut. What? Cat got your tongue? When you still don't answer, he turns mocking. Hello? Hello? Are you still there? If you don't answer within the next minute, I'll drill a hole in your beloved aunt's head. I don't get you. What was that? You're kind of quiet. I said I don't get you. Your hand slams against the countertop and Thomas jumps from where he's standing, halting the conversation between him and a new patron. Lover squirrel. you explain to the patron, and Thomas, who stares at you with concern. Back to Adam, you lower your voice a few octaves. I didn't even go to the police. I left you well enough alone. Why can't you return the damn favor? Because you're a stain on this world, just like this aunt of yours. What do you even know about me? I've done nothing to you. I know enough. Now, I suggest you'd refrain yourself from throwing another tantrum, or I'll make do on my promises. You do as I say, and I'll let your aunt live. You mean live long enough for her to watch as you slit my throat? Adam chuckles darkly. Either way, she gets to live another minute. If you don't comply, I'll kill her here and now. Not to mention, I've got eyes on that bar. They'll track you wherever you go. So, Saffron's watching us now, is he? Now, you'll be good and come back to me, won't you? You close your eyes, trying not to have a mental breakdown. You're trapped like a rat in a cage. And if you even try telling Thomas to call for help, he's going to kill Aunt Ruth the second you open your mouth. There's only one available option. You have to face him again. Your literal worst nightmare. Fine. Where do you want to meet? Do I really need to spell it out for you? The trailer? Adam gives a slow clap, sarcasm dripping in his tone. Congratulations! You put two and two together. Now hurry up or she'll pay the consequences. Your aunt screams and then the line goes dead with you standing in place, trying to keep from hurling the tang of bile in the back of your throat, both strong and acid. Your thoughts spiral out of control in a vicious tornado, tearing through common sense and destroying your sanity by the minute. Adam resorted to using your own family as a bargaining chip in order to get what he wants. He's got Aunt Ruth. He's got Aunt Ruth. And it's all your fault. It doesn't matter how you feel about her. This is your fight, and now she's been drugged into the middle of the sick and twisted game Adam is playing. You couldn't forgive yourself if she died because of you. You have to save her. You have to. A hand touches your shoulder and you jump like you were shocked with a live wire. You whip around to find Thomas staring at you with a growing concern. Everything okay? You seem agitated. Yeah, I got to head home. I got some stuff to work out. You know, couple stuff and all that. You can hear the tremor in your voice, but Thomas doesn't seem to notice. He just nods sagely. I wish you the best of luck. Fights with loved ones are hard, but they turn out okay, no matter the end result. He gives your shoulder a reassuring squeeze as if to emphasize his point. Yeah, thanks for the help. And advice. You hope he's right, because things are going to get dicey in the next half hour, and you really don't know if you're going to make it out of this alive. Outside, you find the storm amplified tenfold. Debris is picking up and flies through the air. Trees bend and almost break at the force of the winds. The weather matches how you're feeling right now as you sprint across the parking lot to your car. To your left, you can see the headlights of a small reefer truck blasting your car with their windshield wipers whipping back and forward. When you get into the driver's seat and head straight for the highway, it pulls after you and begins its pursuit. You try weaving in and out of pursuit, anything to shake them off. But no matter how hard you try, they always remain 2 tail lengths behind. It's not until the midway point that they start tailgating you. You assume this is what Adam meant when he said he had an eye on the bar. Whoever's in that car is his informant. The damn stalker. Did they call Adam as soon as you showed up? You're betting they did. How else would Adam know to call there? He knew what you were going to do before you did it. He's playing a game of chess, and he's getting closer to winning the nasty-ass game of his, thanks to his helper. Your eyes go back to the reefer truck, and as soon as you stop, you peer into your rearview mirror to see if you can sneak a peek at the driver. You catch a flash of familiar white hair. Ah, Saffron. As if sensing your eyes on him, Adam's informant waves. Saffron. These 2 bastards. You're half tempted to go into reverse and ram your bumper into the grill of his truck, your hand hovering over the gear stick, fingers twitching at the idea. Oh, come on, we could have done that. We should have. No, you can't. You wrench your hand away and force it back onto the steering wheel. If anything goes down, he'll tell Adam. And then your aunt's blood will be on your hands. You need to stay compliant now because there's more than one life at stake here. Yours and hers. You need to play things carefully. It's your best shot at making it out of this alive and without bringing any more harm to your family. You take a deep, shuddering breath. Stay calm. Stay collected. And try to stay safe. The rest of the drive feels long and torturous as you force down your hectic thoughts. Thunder booms in the sky while wind tugs at your car, and your heart thuds well over the speed limit. When you finally reach the trailer park, everyone's lights are off, either asleep or out drinking. You pull in the front of your aunt's mobile home and step out as the reefer truck stops behind you. They keep their lights on, illuminating your way as you walk up the steps. You hesitate before knocking. There's a pause. Your breathing almost seems as loud as the rain. What awaits you behind this door? What have you come to find? When there's no response for over a minute, you almost consider knocking again. Then the locks start clicking. Click. He's in there. Click. Where will you run? Click. He's going to kill you this time. Click. Death is here. Your time is up. You test the doorknob as soon as you hear the last click. Inside, the lights are off. Glass crunches under the soles of your shoes, and with each step, you feel like you're suffocating. He's here. He's here in this same room, waiting, watching. You can feel his presence in the dark, lurking like a monster sizing up its prey. Why isn't he saying or doing anything? Usually he can't shut up because he loves hearing himself talk so much. At least from how he presented himself on the highway so long ago. You swallowed the lump in your throat and dared to speak. I've done what you asked. I'm here. I'm the one you want. Now let my aunt go. You wait. Nothing but silence. You try peering through the darkness, searching for a silhouette, but everything blends together in odd shapes. You reach out for what you think could be him, but your hands land on the messy dishes from earlier. Where the heck is he? Your hand goes to your hip, waiting for him to tackle you to the ground like he did last time. Adam? You take a step back, wondering how he managed to conceal himself in such a small space. Is he gonna springboard from under the table like a toy jack-in-the-box? You wouldn't put it past him. You get ready to check under the table just in case and turn towards it. Something brushes your ankle and you yelp, taking a few steps back. Lightning flashes, allowing light to appear through the broken window. You realize that's where the glass came from. And as for what's near your ankles, you scream at the same time thunder booms in the sky, illuminating your room once more. Your aunt lays motionless on the ground with her body covered in blood that soaks through the brown carpet. And above her stands Adam. He holds onto one of her arms while the other goes to scrub the streak of blood off his face. You were just there, standing quietly, waiting for lightning this whole time to get this effect? Dude, you are a drama. You were so theatrical. Oh my god. And you killed our aunt. You said you would. Oh, sorry. Okay. He finally speaks. His words drip with poison wrapped in velvet. Well, well, well. He steps over Ruth's body and drops her hand, his pace slow and dangerous like a hunter on the prowl. You take a step back, but hit something in the process and tumble onto the floor. Oh, okay. This is a gorgeous artwork right here. Oh my god. You stare up at Adam, wide frame in horror as he traces a hand along the curved edge of his knife. Then he bends down to your level and tips your chin up with the point of his blade. We still have our knife. We still have our knife. We might be stabbing this boy. His forever cruel smile returns as he continues. Looks like I finally found you. My inclusive little pest. Good end? Wait. That said good end with a question mark. So that would definitely lead into chapter 2, right? That has to lead into the question, into chapter 2, because we didn't die. We're just there, and it's a good end with a question mark, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next chapter already, but we're not done yet. We have to try to get the other endings. Remember? I want to know what happens if we just get in the car with Saffron. We just get in the car with him. I'll take you up on that offer. Stranger clasps his hands together like a teacher, proud of a student for giving the right answer. Wonderful. I knew you were a sensible individual. Let's be off then, shall we? No loitering. Call me. Palms 22-1. The stranger presses a guiding hand towards the center of your back, urging you in the direction of the smaller parking lot, located directly behind the gas station, towards a small white reefer truck parked next to a large dumpster that smells of spoilt meat. Suspicion flares hot in your chest. This is shady as hell. Anyone well acquainted with the area knows this place is a hot spot for drug sales due to lack of video surveillance. You don't want something caught by CCTV footage? You do it here. You dig your heels into the ground, a mere 3 feet away from his car door. He almost stumbles into you due to your sudden stop. Something the matter, my dear? Is it your shoulder, or are you hurt somewhere else? I can carry you if you like. And sincerity almost gets you to start walking again. Keyword being almost. I think I changed my mind? He finishes the sentence for you. When you nod, his smile loses a fraction of its warmth. You're not serious. You don't answer, allowing your silence to speak for you. The corner of Saffron's eyes twitches and he goes to rub at the spot. You're really set on this. When all I asked in return was polite conversation in exchange for a drive and hundreds of dollars taken off your bill, you're okay with missing out on such an opportunity? He circles you almost like a vulture, but his eyes genuinely convey sadness and disappointment when he bends his body to match your height. You feel like you've disappointed a parent rather than an absolute stranger, but you're not budging on this one. This just reeks of bad news, and that reefer truck creeps you the fuck out. You're making the choice right here. I won't stop you from walking away if you're sure. I'm sure. I'm sorry, I should have realized sooner, but I'm not comfortable with this. He sighs and pulls back into his full height, all 6'5" Oh wow, he's a very tall boy, casting a shadow over your form, shielding you away from the sun like a human solar eclipse. He straightens the lapels on his jacket. A smile returns, though conveying a deep loneliness you don't understand. Very well then. If there's nothing I can say to change your mind, then that's that. Unfortunate since I was looking forward to the drive. Yeah, I'm sorry. You take a step back. Then another, and another. Well, I'll be on my way then. You turn around and start heading towards the front of the building when an arm wraps around your waist. It's so quick that your mind takes a moment to catch up. What the? Something gets plunged into your neck. A quick, painful, stabbing sensation. He's drugging us. It's just as quickly gone, or maybe it's because the area has become numb. You don't quite understand what's happening as your body begins to slump. What? The words slip out of your grasp as soon as you speak them. Thoughts become disjointed like puzzle pieces tossed all over a child's bedroom. They come together almost as easily as they're ripped apart, and your body slowly begins to sink to the ground, aided by the person responsible for plunging whatever it was caused this into your neck. Shh. Just let it take over. Don't fight it. You'll only hurt yourself more. Your eyes get heavy and his face hovers over yours, becoming a blurred mess of blues and whites. You open your mouth to speak, but it's filled with cotton. No. No. Cold hands brush your temple. I'm sorry. I know I promised to let you go, but I'm afraid, for Adam's sake, I can't do that. And I'm sure he'll hate me for killing you myself. I know he wanted the honor of doing so, but you? The fact that you accept him once, we can't risk that happening again. Doing so will bring his ruin. And mine. Adam? Adam? You try thrashing around, but only one of your arms manages to respond, lifting up in a futile attempt to brush him off. It falls back to your side again. Useless. How did you allow this to happen? You trusted Adam the first time around, a complete stranger, and look where it got you. Now it's happening again. And this time, you can't even fight him off. You're vulnerable. Completely and utterly defenseless. Ooh. Gloved fingers adjust the scraps crisscrossing your chest, waist, and legs when you finally regain consciousness. White hair dips in and out of your view while stranger busies himself with ensuring you're properly attached to the cold, steel table you feel underneath your back. When he notices you watching, he offers a genuine smile before pulling up the mask resting on his face. Oh no, is he doing this Dexter style? You know, like plastic everywhere and gloves and mask on, and he's just gonna chop us up? Saffron, buddy. You're up. Did you sleep well? As good as one can be after being knocked out with sedatives. But you digress. It's hard to argue when your mouth feels like it's been stuffed with cotton and your head keeps ringing. Not exactly the perfect time to offer your wittiest banter. I apologize for things coming to this point. But I'm afraid for the sake of those I care about, I can't let you go free. An apology doesn't negate the drugging, or, kidnapping. You try to say as much and fail. Nope, your jaw still doesn't work right. Not being able to talk sucks ass. You know, at least with Adam you got some verbal jabs in before he tried offing you. Weird how you almost prefer that to now. You guess you're one of those types who prefer to go out with a bang rather than a whimper. Not that you like making the habit of running into men with murderous tendencies. We're almost ready. He says this as he tugs at one of the straps near your ankles and then around your waist. Are these comfortable? I tried not to make them too tight. It cuts off circulation, and we really don't want that now, do we? He waits. Oh God, he actually wants a response. You have no choice but to nod your head. He was just like waiting for us to respond about our boundings being too tight. Oh my God, Saffron. He smiles as he pulls his mask up again. Such a polite guest. A shame we couldn't chat more, Usually, when I get this intimate with someone, I like to get to know them a bit better. He turns towards your table with the large displays of tools. Anything ranging from hammers to buzzsaws to a literal machete. Is he a murderer too, or is he just really good about cleaning up the bodies and disposing of the bodies that Adam takes care of, is my question. I'm leaning towards he's a murderer too. He runs a finger along the razor-sharp edge of a meat cleaver and examines it in the light before putting it back down. No, not that one. That's only for my favorite guest. I'm offended. We're not your favorite guest. Then he picks up a scalpel, twisting it around with his fingers. This is probably more fitting. And what you were expecting, right? Cold, analytical, precise. He comes up to you, allowing the flat of the blade to brush against your cheek almost teasingly. You try shrinking back, but your binds hold you in place. The entire table rattles from how much you tremble and shake. He's choosing what to torture you with. Why not stab you and get it done with? Why drag this out? A cruel smile curls underneath his mask as he tries pulling at your restraints. He can see the fear in your eyes. Your fight or flight sense is starting to take over as your body starts to operating properly. He takes delight in it. Yes, I think this one will do nicely. Now then. He twists the blade so you can feel the slight biting cut of steel. Blood trickles down your cheek. Count to 3 for me. You open your mouth. Nothing comes out but a rasp of air. Now, try again. I'm a patient man. Ooh. He presses his ear closer to your mouth. I'm sorry, what was that? You have to speak up, dear. Your teeth clamp around his lower lobe. Yes. We're biting his ear enough to draw blood and send him reeling backwards. Yeah, we going out with a bang. There's a clatter of tools as he bumps into the counter and something falls to the floor. You can't see what it is, but you don't care. You just hope that it hurts. You. The man holds his bleeding ear, crimson rivulets seeping through his fingers and dripping into the floor below. You turn your head and spit his blood out of your mouth. Fuck you. The man lets out a soft laugh, but it's devoid of humor. His eye twitches again. So crass. So vulgar, it seems. His voice dips into a dangerous octave. We're going to have to train that out of you. Bring it. we definitely being stubborn. His eyes twitch again and he whips around at your challenge, turning on the radio behind him. Opera music echoes through the room as Saffron readjusts his instruments after bumping into them when you bit him. Very well then. Let's see how long that resilience of yours lasts. He receives a scalpel from the floor, which is what clattering sound must have been earlier. A bottle of alcohol. What's the... The man grips your jaws with fingers cold as a dead fish and presses his forehead into yours. Let's begin, shall we? Oof. Oof. Then he carves into your skin with multiple quick practice swipes, followed by the quick uncapping of the alcohol and... Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. You know, when you're cleaning a wound and you clean it with alcohol, that burn, imagine it over big pieces of your body. Oh my god. Bad end 4. Glutton for punishment. How many bad ends are there? I know we got a couple in the original, right? Oh, goodness. Heck yeah, I'm glad we got to see more Saffron. He is just as twisted as Adam. Oh my god. Is there any more choices we had? Bite hand or go limp? I think we bit hand before, right? Oh, yeah, okay, this is for the ant. What happens if we go limp? Allow your body to slump, catching your assailant off guard. They stumble as your body weight pulls them forward, and you manage to twist and spin out of their grasp. They manage to catch themselves mid-fall. You squint in the darkness and recognize the silhouette. Okay. Okay, so we didn't miss much on that one. Okay, and I think this was... Okay. So we have covered all the options. Whee! I believe we covered all the possible options in this chapter, because most of it was us just reading. But, this was an awesome chapter. It was like, good 2 hours long. That's really cool. So much happened. And yes, the camera's shaking because my cat is nearby. Okay. I'm off the counter now. No. Okay, but thank you for joining me for this. Oh my gosh. We did survive. We did survive in our first playthrough of it. So, yay! But I believe we covered everything, and now we just have to wait for chapter 2. Let me know down below what you thought so far. Any ideas of what's gonna happen? Like, Adam is definitely related to the person in the photo, right? Huh. He's gotta be. He's gotta be. He's gotta be. And that's where he got, like, the earring from. So, did he kill his mom? Is my question. Was that, like, his first murder, and then he's keeping it as a reminder of it? That's just me spitballing. I don't know, actually. Huh. Well, maybe our aunt isn't actually dead. She just got, like, knocked out from blood loss. Are we ever gonna meet the rest of the members of Cake is my question. Maybe. What if they're all twisted like Adam and Saffron? That would make sense. They're all, like, off doing their own murders. They're probably like, oh yeah, our dude can't make it, so make it to the practice, so let's go off and enjoy ourselves. I think it's like a 4-member band, right? I don't remember. But okay, there's going to be a link down below for the game if you guys want to go check it out for yourself and follow it. I don't know when chapter 2 is going to be out, but when it comes out, I'm definitely going to play it. Thank you for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next time. Bye.